Hey, you all, welcome to another week in NTI. It is week 6 this week, and so we are talking about how we treat water to make it safe. Last week, we spent time talking about contaminants, how they end up in our water, and what are some of the impacts and repercussions of that. Now, we're going to think about what do we do to make sure our water is safe to use and consume. Remember our classroom expectations. I'm going to repeat these every day that we're together in NTI, as well as every day that we are together. So always work to be safe, responsible, respectful, prepared, and here. Remember our live lesson schedule. So first, second, and third period meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Fifth and sixth period meet with me on Wednesdays and Fridays. I don't have classes fourth or seventh. That's why you don't see them listed here. Remember, they're 30-minute classes, and just make sure you arrive within that 5-minute window. Remember, I use lots of platforms to try and change things up. There's some things that will be consistent week to week, but we'll try to use different apps and platforms. So if you're ever having issues with that, you can always leave a private comment on the assignment, as well as utilize Google. Whenever you have a problem with technology, if you Google it, I promise you someone else has had that issue too, and you can hopefully find an answer that will help. Remember, the site is there. It's a little bit less detailed than previous last semester, but it's meant to provide a weekly overview of what we're covering. It's a great place for you to send your parents if or guardians if they have any questions about what you're doing in class. The Google Classroom is the big place where you're going to get lots of information. Again, those reminders about when your live lessons are. Everyone except for my second period, your Meet link will be right here. And then right before every single lesson, I will always post the Pear Deck as well as any other links that you might need, as well as some general announcements about ELT time. Or last week when I screwed up with links, I made some announcements about other resources available to you. The classwork tab is a really important one for you. In that classwork tab at the very top, there'll be important links, including a link to the ELT Wish Hour, as well as a link to the site that I just showed you, as well as a link for the Meet if you can't find it on the stream. And then the assignments and your work is all assorted by week. So we'll notice that the bottom is the week 1 going up. The most current week will be at the top. And then the assignments or the structure of the weeks, the recorded lessons are always at the top, so paying attention to those. And then your assignments, they all have numbers in front of them, and they go in number order. You should do them in number order after having completed the lessons. Remember, if you are in the live lesson, you don't have to do the recorded lesson, but if you miss the live lesson, you do need to do the recorded ed puzzle, because that again provides you the information and the instructions to do all of your assignments. I've changed the due date slightly, but remember that the due dates really don't mean anything. They're just meant to help you keep things organized, but you are allowed to do the work whenever it works for you. Now realize that we are approaching the end of the 6 weeks, so it's kind of important for us to try and get caught up. Remember, turn in your work, go in number order, always turn stuff in Google Classroom, watch the whole ed puzzle. And if you don't know what to do on an assignment, the first thing I'm going to tell you is to make sure you've completed the lesson. And if you've completed the lesson and still don't know what to do, then of course I'll be there to help you. Remember, there is some instructional one-on-one time during the ELT Wish program. It's from 1 to 2 on Wednesdays and Fridays. I will pretty much always be there. So don't be afraid to hop on there. If you even just have like the simplest question, that's a really quick and easy way to get in contact with me. Other than that, you can always send me an email or leave a private comment. That's the quickest way because I see the notifications on my phone and can respond usually pretty quickly. If I don't respond right away, don't be afraid to send another one because I might have just missed it. I'm a human and I mess up sometimes. Like I said, looking ahead, we are at the end of a unit. So we have this week, and then the week after that will be at the end of our water unit. It also coincides with the end of the 6 weeks. So that means that I will be having to submit grades soon. I have not been putting in many missings on Infinite Campus. So your grade as it reads right now, it may not be completely accurate because I'm trying to give you as much time and opportunity to get missing work in. So it's super important that we wrap up this semester or wrap up this 6 weeks and wrap up this unit and really try to get caught up. So thank you guys as always for pushing yourself. I know this is not easy, but you continue to show up and showcase your patience and flexibility and resiliency, and it is awesome. So, like I said, this week we're talking about how water is treated to make it safe. So we are going to think about contaminants, how they end up in our water, and then we're going to think about how the heck do we get them out. We're going to learn specifically about the treatment process that most water companies use, and then hone in our focus on what Louisville does, because Louisville's treatment of our water is actually pretty exceptional, award winning even, and has resulted in us having some of the best water in the entire country. So here's your assignments for the week. There's 5 total, 2 with each lesson, as well as this preview that you're watching right now. Remember, it is super important for you to do the lessons first before you do the assignments, because, again, I usually will kind of walk you through what you need to know, as well as how to do any of the assignments. Keep your tank full. You can't pour from an empty tank. You've got this. I believe in you guys. I'll see you in class. Have a great week.